This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by Right for the Wrong Reasons. Opponents of New Hampshire's Right to Work bill line up early for a rally outside the State House. The bill, while I think well-intentioned, has one aggressive element in it. That means if I were in this building, I'd have to avoid voting for it. The Right to Work law would essentially prohibit even private employers from hiring only union workers. And since I believe in a employer's right to discriminate, I couldn't vote for such a bill. Liberty folk are, focusing on the fact that there's a government union issue here too, where the government union's being too powerful. Sure. I think there's probably people. That's all I ask. Thank you. How you doing? Good. Speaker O'Brien running the dog.
Our house. Our house.
That's Speaker O'Brien there.
Excuse me, everybody.
Anyhow, the bill would hurt unions who tend to be anti-liberty, but in the Ridley mind, the end doesn't justify the means.
And I will keep it there. And by the way, the people who know me know that I have only tries to help people.
Yeah.
And you know what? The concepts, I cannot, as I say, I can never take a group and say I will stand behind every application.
Years and years. I mean,
yeah.
My mother used to write speeches for Hubert Humphrey.
Okay. Well, I'm standing here. Who am I standing here with?
My name is John Corrigan.
Okay, from here in New Hampshire.
Yes, I've lived in New Hampshire since 1975.
Longer than me. And I guess I noticed you've got the SEIU on your head, so you support the
longtime proud union member.
Government union, right?
Yes, basically. It's the State Employees Association of New Hampshire.
So technically I'm in agreement with you on this issue that this particular bill is bad because it forces private employers to not hire union workers. That's not right. It makes it so that they can't make a union-only shop if they want to.
There is no such thing as a union-only shop. Compulsory unionism is a myth. Nobody can be forced to join a union. Nobody can be forced to pay union dues. If you get the services of a union in a organized workplace where the employers and the union have agreed that the non-union members should pay their fair share of collecting bargaining expenses, that is legal, that is a condition, and that is a term and condition of employment that can be negotiated.
But wouldn't this bill, though, make it so that you cannot make a union-only shop even if you want to?
Anybody can work anywhere they want. You do not have to join a union to work anywhere in this country. That's against the law, and to say anything else is right-wing propaganda.
So I read the bill, and it looks to me like it bans employers from discriminating, which I think employers actually have a right to do.
Discrimination.
Well, discrimination would be anything. Like an employer, if it's their money, shouldn't they?
Terms and conditions of employment are negotiated through the collective bargaining process. That's what happens in a union shop. In a shop that is organized, nobody in that workplace can be forced to join a union. Anybody who says to the contrary does not understand federal labor law. You cannot be forced to join a union. You can be required to pay your fair share of the benefits that accrue to you as a member of, as an employee. The fair share fee is a term and condition of employment. My employer has the right to tell me to show up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, my employer also has, can work with my union to say that if you're going to work in the shop, you're going to pay for the benefits you get by paying your share of the collective bargaining expenses. That's not forced unionism.
Well, with regard to the SEIU itself and the idea of government unions, isn't the taxpayer supposedly in charge of that union, and shouldn't the taxpayer be able to fire and hire?
Taxation without representation is tyranny. State employees are taxpayers. We are citizens of this country. We can participate in the democratic process, and to try to take any of that away from us is tyranny.
Yeah, I think it's a civil right, but at the same time, there's state employees get a lot more money from the government than they give to the government. So
we work for the government. You pay for what you get. Of course we you pay, some people pay taxes, some people work for the government and receive paychecks. Yes, but I pay taxes. I pay federal taxes, I pay, state taxes where they're applied.
Yeah.
I pay a local property tax. I'm a taxpayer, I'm a voter, and I'm a citizen. And anybody who wants to take those rights away from me is going to have to fight damn hard to do it.
Right. Well, it'd be hard to define who gets that right and who doesn't. Once you start narrowing it down,
people who work for a living have a right to unionize. Period.
All right, well put. Thanks much.
Sure.
But today, those pro-union protesters who are here very often will get a counter-protest. These right-to-work activists are gathered in the basement to raise questions about unions' perceived excessive influence over politics and over the workplace. And I'm standing here with Representative J.R. Hull from Dunbarton, who's a supporter of the bill. Here's my concern about the bill is that it seems like it says that if you're a private employer, you cannot hire only union workers, which seems to be an intrusion on the marketplace decision.
What do you mean? You can't hire union?
Well, I read the bill yesterday, or at least in the first part of it, until I got to the problem. It seems like it's saying if I'm an employer and I want to hire just union workers, shouldn't I have the right to do that?
What we're saying is exactly that. You can't require you to be a union member to work.
But shouldn't I be able to though make
as a private facility? You're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Isn't it an intrusion on the private marketplace?
But isn't there a conflict of interest typically between the union members and those who run the corporation? So I don't know. I think it's a red herring that you're bringing up as an issue.
Well, there may not be any companies that want this.
Right.
But to me, it's just it's almost like a technicality. I just wish it hadn't been in the bill.
And you would address only the public employees.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I mean, that would be one solution.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think the idea here is that if we want an open shop, a company wants to set up an open shop, they can. If the employees want to participate, they can. Okay. But they shouldn't make it a grounds for hiring.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. They shouldn't. Those two words imply the state is imposing something on the private company.
It doesn't mean you can't have 100% union membership still.
Yeah,
right?
I see.
Okay, you just can't mandate. It's a burden on the company, not on the employee. All the employees can still join, right? It's a burden on the company.
Yeah.
Okay, but the real issue is let's make it an open shop system where people have the ability to say whether they want to participate with the union, as well as the union is then responsible to them as their shareholders.
I guess another objection I heard from the other side was that they're saying that states that states that do have the right to work law don't seem to be doing any better than the ones that don't. You know any statistics or?
The evidence I'm seeing for Oklahoma came out yesterday in terms of they went right to work in 2003 and they're doing substantially better.
Yeah.
So the evidence I'm seeing is employers want to see this happen. It would make New Hampshire a better place.
Okay. Well, thanks, JR. Any other thoughts on this?
No, I think it's time to pass.
Maybe it will. We'll see what happens. My heart's with it, but my head is not. I guess my head is not. I can't. I just see this technical aggression in there.
But the burden is not on individuals. This is still a very pro-liberty bill.
Well, it's got a pro-liberty element. I'll give it that.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Thanks, JR.
This program is brought to you by freekeen.com. Freekeen.com features audio, video, and blogs chronicling the transition to a voluntary society. Freekeen.com also has comments and discussion forums so you can be heard. Freekeen.com.